All right, guys, another day recording my fitness escapades. So, yesterday, first and foremost, yesterday we did some lunges, and goddamn is my ass sore. Like, I do a ton of squats and deadlifts, and like we're talking hard sets, high reps, sets of 10 to 15, and my ass never gets sore from those. So, I don't know what the deal is, but every single time I do walking lunges, destroys my glutes. There's got to be something there. And I remember this last time I was traveling in the United States in the Ranger. I had some Power Black dumbbells with me, and I ended up doing a ton of walking lunges. And then miraculously, my squat somehow went up. So I think there's something there. There's something to these walking lunges, and they're kind of the antithesis of like my normal style of training because they're like very limited range of motion. When you go down into a lunge, this is only 90 degrees here. And like, I'm all about like squatting ass to grass down all the way. So there's something about working in this like limited range of motion that's like hits the glutes extra hard. Don't know why. But anyway, we got to keep those in. We got to keep the walking lunges going because they're a good thing to do without a ton of gym equipment. And anywho, yesterday we did the whole body workout. Today, I'm thinking just running. And I'm the most fragile man that ever was. So everything always hurts. And I just want to train hard without being in pain. So, gotta do a little warm up before this run. And the problem I've been having lately is with my shin splints. And I've got a theory with the shin splints. So I think if I warm up with some tibialis raises, which is when you lift your toes, you're lifting your toes up to your knees like this. I'm going to spam a bunch of these to get the knees and like the calf warmed up. Do some calf raises as well. I feel like, that'll get some blood flowing to that area. Hopefully solves the problem, I'll keep you guys updated. Gonna hit this run. The goal is an hour. Gonna try to run for an hour today. And Dorit's coming with me. Dorit's behind the camera right now. Thanks for filming. And I'll let you guys know how it goes. Okay, we're back. Okay, guys, we are back. It was a 1 hour run, 10K, 6.2 miles. Doesn't really matter. Distance, irrelevant. But the goal was 1 hour zone 2 cardio, baby. Honestly, if you're only doing one type of exercise, it should be zone 2 cardio. I know I'm all about lifting weights. Lifting weights is my favorite. Lifting weights is what's gonna put on some muscle, change your body the most. But in terms of like making you live longer, making you feel better, there's nothing better than zone 2 cardio, guys. And I do running because running is just like the most accessible. You don't need any equipment. You can just go out and you can go explore places on your feet. But yeah, so today, I'm always working on something. I'm not just out there running. I'm a student of everything that I do. So today when I'm running, my focus was to try to increase my running cadence. I think it's like the best runners out there in the world. They all run at like 180 to 190, I think, steps per minute. Don't quote me on that, but it's something like that. You want a high cadence when you're running. And the reason is the higher the cadence, so the more steps you're taking per minute, the lower the impact is on each step. You can imagine the largest impact you can have while running is if you're taking huge strides and you're just like slamming your heel into the ground. All that shock is just gonna blast up your body and you're just gonna run into problems later in life because of the impact that running creates. But running doesn't have to be that high of impact. There's ways to lower that impact. One of them is increasing your cadence. So that's why I'm doing that, lowering that shock curve on each step. And then, another way that you can lower the impact of running is if you wear some sort of minimalist shoe. And this is a hot debate in the running community, whether or not you should have some thick fat Hoka Ona cushion shoes, or you should have the minimalist ones. And I don't think there's a perfect answer to that, but I think there's some value to the cushion shoes. But it's just, the fact of the matter is, if you ran with no shoes on at all, completely barefoot, that is how your running form should look. So you can run with perfect running form with cushioned shoes, but I think the only way you're going to figure out how to do that is to run with minimalist shoes, because you'll see, if you go out on the street right now and you try to run with no shoes on, you're going to immediately, you can't heel strike. It's impossible. You'll just explode your heel on the first step. You will naturally roll from your pinky toe to your big foot, or to your, not big foot, your big toe. You'll roll from your pinky toe to your big foot, and then kind of land on mid-foot, and then slowly bring the heel down, spring up. So you kind of stay on your mid-foot to your toes, and then not only is like the rolling of the toes, slowing down the impact of your body to the ground, also you're utilizing the arch of your foot, which is like a spring, which is another way you can lower the impact of running. So yeah, I care about this stuff so much, guys, because right now, running's like the only form of cardio that I can do without any equipment. So I want to just make sure I'm minimizing any sort of long-term consequences of that. My mom was a runner her whole life, and she ended up having both of her knees replaced and has had all kinds of problems because of it. And my thought is, if I can enact practices right now that will lower the impact of running onto my body, strengthen my feet, strengthen my ankles, strengthen my legs, maybe I won't run into the same problems later in life. I'm doing other stuff to strengthen my knees, but that's just for a whole nother video, guys. Whole nother video. One other thing I was doing today was I tried to nasal breathe for the entire run. Not only is that like a good way to stay in zone 2, which is, 2 out of 5, just like on the effort scale, I think it's a heart rate zone, but just think about it as like moderate running pace, kind of easy. If you run any faster than what it takes to breathe out your nostrils, you'll have to breathe through your mouth, then you're probably bumping it up to the next zone. But there's other benefits that come from breathing from your nose, and I think it's like your nasal passages actually dilate, and you could actually have better sleep because of it, because you're able to breathe better out your nose. But I'm not a scientist, guys. This is just some shit that I heard, and I'm down with it, okay? So it's not like I'm breathing out my nose every time I run, but, it's something I do every once in a while, and it feels nice. It feels nice. I could feel like I could breathe out my nose better after, and I don't have to think about, am I running too fast? I think that's going to be it for the training today. The only other thing I was going to do is try to stop by a fitness supply store and get some stuff to help me to work out on the go. So I might film some of that if I make it to that store. You'll see later if I end up going. I kind of want to get some bands, for warming up the rotator cuffs before I do calisthenics, and maybe one of those bags I can fill with sand. You heard me talking about it in the last video. I don't know if they're going to have it. I bet you they'll have nothing, because it's impossible to get anything here in New Zealand, but you'll see. If I go, I'll film it. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow.